We are back. The red light is on. The Dave Van Auken Show. Today, joining me, we're like a week and a half, less than a week. Gamebred Boxing for one of the fighters on the card, a friend, Andy, the CrAsian Nguyen. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I'm trying to think. The last time I saw you was Orlando, right? That sign-in.
Yes, it was.
And then it's so funny. I was like looking through old pictures of you. We're trying to make artwork and stuff. And of course, the event that I was at Gamebred FC, which was bare knuckle MMA. Now full circle. It's been like a year. Now you're doing Gamebred Boxing 4. How crazy is it to be on, two Gamebred cards within 1 year?
I wanted to I wanted to do more bare knuckle MMA, but there's not a lot of girls in it, so that's okay. I'm really honored to be able to share the ring with so many legends on this fight card. It is amazing. It is so exciting.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. I definitely want to break down the card. More about saying, it's funny you hear that because a birdie told me that Gamebred FC is coming back soon. So that's something that you do want to jump back into?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great show. You put on a hell of a performance that night in, I think, Biloxi. Wasn't it Biloxi, Mississippi?
Yes.
Crazy.
You have a good memory, man. I don't know how you remember all these locations.
It's what I do. It's what I do. It's the kids. Like I have the kids portion of 80% of me, and then 20% is MMA. But all right, let's get into Gamebred Boxing 4, April 1st. Tickets on sale right now at Ticketmaster, guys. How did this fight come to be? I know of you because you're staying busy. I know you're in bare knuckle still, and I know you're doing MMA still. You do a lot of GIST tournaments and stuff. When did professional boxing come to be? And let me hear the story.
Well, I still haven't had my professional boxing debut yet, and right. I think B Win's opponent had pulled out, and she tagged me, she tagged my name on there. She's like, Andy Nguyen, are you down? I'm like, of course I'm down.
Right.
So of course, but now we're gonna rush in to get all these medicals done. I asked for catch weight because I don't want to worry about my weight. I need to get all these medicals done. I need to get I don't want to look like crap, especially on a stage like that with all the other people that are on there that are very, notable names. So she agreed to catch weight. I'm already at weight, but I just didn't want to worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it is last minute.
For sure. And then how funny is it? I don't know if you've seen it on social media, but I've seen a lot of it. Like, they're like, wait a second, wait, win versus win? Well, come on now. And then I saw a funny poster like, win versus win, who's going to win? Like, it was like, geez, people are running with this. But do you have any history with Killer B or?
Oh, yeah. This will be our third fight together. So she won her pro debut MMA on Legacy. I forgot how many years that was. And against me, it was a 3-round fight. And then I was the King of the Cage champ. So I was defending my title, and I won that. So that was our round 2. That was a 5-round fight. And then now this is going to be both of our pro boxing debut for Gamebred 4. It's exciting. Yeah, it's different.
Awesome. I did not know that. A little trilogy fight. I did look you up. So it's crazy. Would you ever thought in 20? I think you made your debut in 2015. If I read that right, made your debut in 2015, and now Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's an NBA arena. It is going to be packed. It's going to be such a great night in combat sports. Would you ever thought back then to now that you would be under a big banner, a big arena like that?
No, actually, I was under another card. I was an amateur. It was I was doing MMA in a boxing ring, and Roy Jones Jr. was the main event. So I have that picture, and awesome. I can't wait to post it because it was in 2011 that he was an event, and I was the first person on that card. I was the only one that did the MMA. It was amateur, but it was in a boxing ring. And
oh, that's awesome. How funny. All right, let's get into it. You kind of mentioned it a couple of times about this card. How crazy good is this card, Andy? Roy Jones and Pettis as the main event, like a fight that you would never have thought would have happened. Jose Aldo in boxing versus Jeremy Stevens. Of course, Jacare Souza and Belfort. When you saw all this, craziness, this madness of these high-level fights, was there one that really jumped at you? Do you want to see them all? How intrigued are you just with the whole night itself, other than your fight?
I really like Pearl Gonzalez. I love.
Yes, PG.
Yeah, I pay attention more to the girls and the guys, and I know my cornerman. He's like he loves Jose Aldo. So when I got this opportunity and I told him, we were just jumping on it.
Yeah.
It'd be a no brainer for me. We were already training for like another fight, and so just had to kind of sprint to get into this fight shape really quick, basically.
For sure. And so your last 2 fights, I think, was bare knuckle boxing, right?
Yes.
So I would assume, right? Like, so you've been doing a lot of boxing, more of that technique of all other MMA skills, or have you still been training in everything and just wherever it takes you, or have you been training a lot more boxing within the last year and a half?
I've been doing a lot of boxing,
okay.
But I am available for MMA because I do have teammates that still compete in MMA. So when I was in, I took a vacation after the Veronica fight, went to Orlando, and I trained over there where Hannah Goldie is, and I did MMA
fusion
there. So I mean, I can switch back and forth. It's just boxing. It's so many other details, especially bare knuckle and regular boxing. So it's still a learning process, and I love it. That's why I love the sport so much, because you're still learning.
For sure. You can never master it. We've seen just even Kamaru Usman, who had such a great run, takes 2 losses in a row. We just seen Izzy lose. It's wild how MMA or just all combat sports is in general. All right, let me another curveball for you. Someone just told me the weather. I know you live in South Carolina, right?
I live in North Carolina, but
North Carolina. Okay. Someone told me about the weather in Milwaukee on fight week. It's going to be cold out there in Milwaukee. Make sure we travel with big jackets. Have you had different venues, or have you had better timing with just the area, or just to do you like to fight in your home city or your home state, or is this really cool to go out there in Milwaukee and something new and something different in a big arena, trying something new?
Well, I'm glad it's just a 1 hour difference of time zone. I'm part of the world, and it'll be really hard to do last minute, like out in Japan or something like that. It is tough on your body also, but the good thing is that Milwaukee is not high altitude, so that's good. Still flatland, and I've been there once. They have great cheese, Miller Lite, and they make Miller Lite out there. I bought my Green Bay Packers jersey from there. So I'm excited to come back, and I know it's cold, but it's okay. I have layers. I fought in Canada. That was super cold. So this is nothing.
You mentioned the girls fight. You mentioned Pearl Gonzalez, who's fighting Gina Mazzendi. When are you going to extra watch? Because I would assume, right, they've already talked about Gamebred Boxing 5, and they really want to keep this momentum going. I would just assume, right, the winner of your fight, you versus Nguyen versus, and then maybe fight the winner of Pearl versus Gina. Is that something that really interests you? Do you want to stay on this boxing theme? Would you love Dean Toole and Jorge Masvidal to bring you back for Gamebred Boxing 5?
Oh, definitely. I love all combat sports. I don't have issues, but all the promotions on Fight For It is non-exclusive. Just as long as it's not within the date and everything, then we're definitely. Pearl and I are 2 different weight classes, but it's hard to fight somebody I look up to.
I hear you.
It really is, but whatever.
I hear you. Do you have any? You said your corner is definitely a Jose Aldo fan, and you fought on a Roy Jones card, years and years ago. Is out of all of those fights, the top 3 especially, is there one that you're like, okay, I can't miss this one? Doesn't matter what happens in my fight. Afterwards, I got to watch Roy Jones and Pettis, or is it Aldo and Stevens? Is there one fight on the card, or is it Pearl and Gina? Is that like the fight that you have to see?
I think I want to watch all of them. I'm just glad that I'm not towards the end of the card. Usually they have featured fight for me. I'm near the co-main or the main or something like that. I'm glad I'm just in the bottom so I can sit back and watch now. Usually they put us at, I'm like, dude, I hate this so bad. So fighting my hometown is a big name. But when I'm fighting with like all these legends, I'm like in a lower level, and then I get to watch it. So no, I am going to watch it. I'm going to be excited for all of the fights.
That's awesome. We cannot wait, guys. April 1st, Gamebred Boxing 4. You can watch it on pay-per-view under the UFC Fight Pass banner. Every time we see each other, beef jerky is always involved. Tell us about the beef jerky. Let's sell some product. What do we got to do here?
Well, it's the link is under my bio on Instagram. Okay. My Instagram is Andy the CrAsian 1. My mother makes it. There's no preservative. It's only one flavor. She started to do a smoky kind. So, but it's hard to introduce that when like she keeps selling out on the regular, you know. And thank you all you guys. You know, all my fans have been trying it, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's actually really good." So you know, it wasn't just like me promoting it because of my MMA fans. My mother is in her 70s. She doesn't do social media, and I'm still young enough where I do have social media, so I sell it on there. It works.
There you go. So funny story for everyone, a little inside story here. So yeah, maybe a year ago, Gamebred FC down there in Biloxi. It was a great card, a great night, and like kind of the story, the guys, the inside people that were working the show were talking about. Not even that one. There was a little scuffle with you and your opponent. I believe her last name was Lawson. You guys got into a little scuffle, kind of went viral, was a big thing. But afterwards, you had this beef jerky. I remember you giving it to Dean, and I had some. You're giving it around, and it's that night. We're eating like dinner. We're having like that nice dinner. Everyone's working, and afterwards, all we're talking about is your jerky. Like everyone's like, dude, this is the best shit ever. Like this beef jerky's awesome. I remember like Dean like couldn't believe it. He's like, dude, this shit's really good. So I think you to a man's heart is food. So I think you won Dean Tool's heart.
Yeah, but I'm single.
Crazy. Well, we can't wait. Andy, anything left? What's a prediction? You want to put the most time possible, or would you love to get a first round knockout? What's something that you want to happen for your fight on April 1st?
I just want to look good on stage. I don't want to I just want people to be like, oh wow, she does have skills, not it's just her looks or whatever. No, she's not a brawler like in bare knuckle. I want to be able to compete in all combat sports, and I just hope I do well and just get out of there safe. That's all that matters on both ends, my opponent and I.
No, I love that. That's awesome, and I think you will. You've always performed every time. A great show. Gamebred Boxing 4, April 1st, live on pay-per-view. Andy, we cannot wait. I'll see you in Milwaukee myself in a week. We can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
Awesome. Later, Andy.